YouTube? It's Winter and I'm back with another video. So this video is actually going to be more serious rather than me trying to be funny. It's about a topic that I've been seeing a lot, and I thought I'd address it since it's starting to pop up where I live, and I thought I should address my opinion on this. It's about transgender bathrooms. Now, I'm not going to sit here and yell at y'all about my opinion. I'm going to try and say what my opinion is and say facts about it. And I'm going to bring up a couple ideas that honestly would be better off than just screaming and arguing each other. So yeah, let's get started on that. So, transgender bathrooms. This popped up about 2 weeks ago where I live. So, you know, it's mostly people saying that people should go into the bathrooms that their birth certificate says they should go into. And honestly, when I first saw this, I was like, why? Why are we arguing this and just screaming at each other with popping headlines? And a quote that my teacher has been saying for the past 2 weeks keeps popping in my head every single time I see a headline about this. And his quote is, it wasn't about water fountains, and it's not about bathrooms now. And what does he mean by that? It's easy. All you have to do is look back in history. And you'll see a time when the U.S. discriminated against people who had different colored skin. And they argued a lot, and a main controversial issue was segregated items for people, such as water fountains for the white people, and then water fountains for people who are colored. And a lot of debate happened over that. There was a lot of protest, and, you know, it wasn't really about the water fountains. It based off that, but it was something more when you looked at it. It was more about the rights of the people rather than just water fountains. So if you compare that to now, it's water fountains are right outside bathrooms, people, and that's what we're doing. It's so close to repeating history. History is there in order to show us the mistakes that we've done in the past, so we don't repeat the same mistakes that our ancestors made. But we're getting so close because you're looking at a certain person, you're yelling at them, you're screaming at them, and you're making it difficult for them. And you're enforcing laws that other states haven't enforced. And honestly, it's just, I really don't want to repeat history, because by repeating history, I'll pick up a textbook at school and you're basically telling me this textbook is worthless because history can be repeated. But if you just look at the textbooks, we don't have to do that. So it scares me how close we are to it. And if this is the first thing we repeat, what else can we repeat? Can we repeat wars? Have same wars over the same issue that we had years ago? Or something similar to it? It scares me, y'all, because I don't want our world to get any more chaotic. Because it's already in chaos because there's no peace, no true peace attained throughout our world. And I wish we could attain world peace. I really do. But with all the different opinions and ideas going around, I'm not sure that's happening anytime soon. And everybody has different opinions and ideas. That's what makes us individuals. But you tell people to be themselves, to be different, to be unique, to be comfortable with who they are, which is what people do whenever they transition their gender. Transgender, that's what it means. They're being who they are, being comfortable with who they are. And you've told them to do that ever since they were young, but then when they decide to take that step, y'all yell at them, you tell them they're wrong, you tell them something was wrong with them, when honestly, there's nothing wrong with them. They're being themselves. They're being who they were born to be. And I'm not saying there's predestined stuff or anything. I'm just saying that these thoughts have always been there. And they finally took that step of courage in order to get closer to that person who they should be. But then y'all just stomp on it. And it's kind of scary because individuality seems to be dying a little bit. And being yourself, I don't see it much anymore. I honestly see people being conformed into a certain type of person to attain a certain goal, because ever since we're young, we're told be ourselves, but then we get into school and honestly, we're not reaching that. we're trying to reach a certain goal and then you're good. So it kind of scares me how our world's going. And I hope we can address that soon, because I don't want the world to get any worse, y'all. It's not that great right now, but I hope we can get better. The other thing I want to address is the difference between sex and gender, because there is a difference. Whenever I look at the newspapers, they're kind of merging into the one thing, and it's not the same thing. Gender's up here, while sex is down there. And they're not the same thing. You shouldn't lump them into the same thing. But just because gender's up here does not mean it's not true. It's not, it's still real. It's still them. And some transgender people do transition their body in order to, you know, attain what they really are, who they really are. A trans man may transition his body in order to feel more comfortable, so he doesn't have to live with that for the rest of his life. But there are trans people who don't do that. Transgender is a very large umbrella, y'all. You keep seeing it as just binary, and it's a spectrum. There's loads of terms that go underneath the transgender umbrella. There's gender fluid, agender, bigender, polygender. There's a whole lot, and you can't just conform it into the binary setting that our world looks at it. So it's just really confusing while we keep doing this, and I just can't sit by and let my opinion get run over by others. I need to put it out there, which is why I'm saying it in this video right now. And maybe I'll get yelled at, maybe I'll get some hate, but honestly, I don't care, because I can't just sit by and watch this happen. I need to show where I stand and take that step forward. And I think y'all should do that too. So express your opinions, but express them in the right way. We don't need to yell at each other about who's right and who's wrong. We need to show facts. We need to show basis. We need to make everybody feel comfortable, because where we're going to right now, it's just one side's comfort, and it's getting closer and closer to repeating history. Maybe y'all want to repeat history, but a lot of people don't, because I could honestly find a person in this world who was around whenever people discriminated against color. It's not that hard. There have been people around. If I could probably find somebody who was still around whenever World War II was around, because there are people out there. Honestly, if my grandfather was still alive and he hadn't died from liver disease, he would still be alive and be able to tell how World War II was. And he'd see where we were at. And I don't know where he stood. I never got to meet him. But he was a police officer, so I think he'd want to fight for what's right, and if we explained it, I think he'd fight where I fight too. So, express your opinion. Show where you stand and take a stand towards it. But please don't argue it. Don't yell at each other and make it worse. Show who you are. Don't feel scared to express yourself. Take that stand. Show that there's others. You can find others that express this too. Don't feel scared. Because even if there's one other person that expresses your opinion that's the same as you, there's somebody fighting with you. So take that charge. Take that stand. But let's cease all this fighting and just try and get this peacefully. So that's all I've got to say. I guess if you like this video, please like it. If you dislike it, I won't really care, because this is my opinion and that's where it's going to stand. So that's all I got to say for now. So I'll put up another video soon, and I'll see you around YouTube.